Hello, it's David Allen and you are watching Sporting Icons.
Now, I'll leave a link to Nathan Gorman's Twitter feed so you guys can go have a read of it for yourself, where Nathan Gorman quite clearly has had enough of Frank Warren in the sense of playing second fiddle to Daniel Dubois. Now, bearing in mind they're only 1 year apart in age. Nathan Gorman is about 1 year older than Daniel Dubois, and he's had, half a dozen fights more than Daniel Dubois, both undefeated. But Frank Warren will put Daniel Dubois as a headliner, and he'll talk about Daniel Dubois and everything else that's about Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois is the one to go on at some point and defeat the likes of Anthony Joshua, defeat the likes of Tyson Fury and everything. Of course, right now, with Tyson Fury coming back, he's taking the headlines of the heavyweight, but for quite some time, Daniel Dubois was Frank Warren's key. He was what he was hoping was going to be the ace in the hole. Nathan Gorman was there or thereabouts, but of course he is managed and co-promoted as well by Ricky Hatton, and trained, of course, as well. But it's something that I've noticed for quite some time, and it's something that you guys notice as well, where if you've got two prospects, shouldn't you kind of treat them equally? And if one of them falls off the radar a little bit, takes a loss here or there, then okay, fine, fair enough, then put your efforts into the other guy, okay? If the other one is showing a bit more potential. But ultimately, these guys are kind of like neck and neck. If anything, you could probably say Nathan Gorman is a little bit ahead. Anyway, he's kind of had enough of Frank Warren and blasted him for pretty much making it obvious that Daniel Dubois is his key, and Nathan Gorman plays second fiddle to Daniel Dubois in the mind and everything promotional wise with Frank Warren. And Frank Warren, of course, he outlined his plan for Daniel Dubois, where his 4-fight plan was Razvan Kajanu, which is already gone on March 8th, just gone. Next fight in a couple of weeks' time, April 27th against Richard Lartey. And then it'll be Joe Joyce, then Nathan Gorman. Now, first of all, that's a bit of a risky plan. Will Daniel Dubois get past Joe Joyce? It's a difficult one, isn't it? And we know that Daniel Dubois, he is looking the business, okay? Let's not hide behind it. At times, he does look a little bit vulnerable, a little bit wooden. But he doesn't have much of the explosive or the personality, should we say, that's going to make him a superstar. And unfortunately, we do live in an era where it's a lot more than just what you do in the ring. It's what you do on the outside of the ring that brings in the attention. But if he was to take on Joe Joyce, why take on Joe Joyce when he can take on Nathan Gorman? Nathan Gorman's been calling out Daniel Dubois for quite some time. Frank Warren has been making excuses, to be honest, to protect Daniel Dubois from Nathan Gorman. It's not that he doesn't want Nathan Gorman to take a loss, or he doesn't want Daniel Dubois to take a loss, or he wants this fight to be a big super fight. Not at all, because this fight will never be a big super fight as long as Daniel Dubois is as wooden as what he is. And I'm not being unkind to him. That's just how it is in today's boxing. But Nathan Gorman wants that fight. And if you put Daniel Dubois in with Joe Joyce, which I'm not too sure if that's going to happen or not, for me, either Joe Joyce or Daniel Dubois, one of these guys will duck each other, regardless of the fact that the British Boxing Board of Control have ordered that fight for their British heavyweight title. For me, I think that Joe Joyce will quickly book another opponent and not wait for Daniel Dubois to finish his one in a couple of weeks' time. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see. So with that 4-fight plan that Frank Warren put out, Nathan Gorman is pretty much asking, well, where's mine? Where's my plan? Why is it that you're putting all your faith and all your promotion in Daniel Dubois? What about me? Am I the backup here? And he goes on as well in another post, which I can't really see because Frank Warren's blocked me for some reason. Anyway, Nathan Gorman says, Daniel Dubois lost a round against Kevin Johnson. I didn't lose any. Funny that, Frank Warren, you spin all this shit in favour anyway because he has no personality and don't even do his own stuff. I ain't stupid. So what he's saying is, Daniel Dubois' social media is not him. And we know it's not him. It's pretty obvious that it's not him. Okay, he's got media people doing it for him. Nathan Gorman does his own promotional things. Frank Warren speaks for Daniel Dubois. Frank Warren is, well, he's doing what a promoter's supposed to do, I suppose, but he doesn't do it with Nathan Gorman so much. And what Nathan Gorman is getting at right here is that why is it that you're always showing favouritism to Daniel Dubois? Now, I don't think there's any kind of beef between Nathan Gorman and Frank Warren, not at all. But clearly he's frustrated. Okay, clearly he's saying, you need to put a little bit more emphasis on me as well. Because I can defeat your man. And if I defeat your man, and if I'm feeling like I'm second fiddle, and only then, once I beat your man, will you then show me some favouritism? At that point, screw you, I'll walk away if necessary. Maybe that's kind of what he's saying. Or he's just saying, just give me the fair. Just be fair with me. Because Daniel Dubois is the one. He's the one who's going to go on and be like Neo from The Matrix. He's going to be the chosen one for Frank Warren, who brought him out of the amateur system way too early, in my opinion. But he's going to be the one to go on and emulate Joshua, overtake Joshua, get Joshua, knock him out, clean up the heavyweight division. At some point, defeat Tyson Fury. And if you was to ask Frank Warren, and if Frank Warren was to be brutally honest, if he was to match Daniel Dubois and Nathan Gorman right now, who do you want to win? He will pick Daniel Dubois. No doubt about it. None whatsoever. But I understand Nathan Gorman's frustration, because for him it's like, I can beat him. Why are you not being fair to me? Why is it all about Daniel Dubois? Why is it not about Daniel Dubois and Nathan Gorman? Why is Daniel Dubois getting the headline? Why is Daniel Dubois getting the plan? Why am I not getting the plan? Why is he getting a fight with Joe Joyce? How did you manoeuvre him into getting a fight with Joe Joyce for the British title when I've had more fights than him? And I'm also undefeated. And I've beaten better opposition or the same opposition as Daniel Dubois. So why is that? Why are you speaking to the British Boxing Board of Control and getting him favouritism? Why is it that he is going to be ranked higher in the WBO than me? Why is that? Why are you having the influence for Daniel Dubois but not for me? And Nathan Gorman's absolutely correct in this. Because what happens if Frank Warren eventually goes, oh, okay, fine, you two fight. Nathan Gorman chins him. What then? Is Nathan Gorman a backup plan? Nathan Gorman shouldn't be a backup plan for anybody. Nathan Gorman should be number one as far as his career goes. And he's absolutely right. Ricky Hatton says it as well. You put Nathan Gorman in there with Daniel Dubois, he believes Nathan Gorman defeats him. And a lot of people believe that. Likewise, a lot of people believe that Daniel Dubois would defeat Nathan Gorman too. But Frank Warren he's got his favourites, and he's not really ashamed to hide behind it. He does make it obvious when you do press conferences, when you hear him talking in the interviews. He doesn't really hide behind it. And if you're one of his fighters, you're going to be a little bit frustrated. I would be. In some ways, it's almost like a Dubois is to Frank Warren what AJ is to Eddie Hearn. Dillian Whyte is to Eddie Hearn what Nathan Gorman is to Frank Warren. Well, in some ways not. Obviously, they're at like total opposite ends right now. You've got AJ and Dillian Whyte, they're both there at the top, both pay-per-view. Daniel Dubois, Nathan Gorman, not yet. Hopefully there will be. But I understand what it is that Nathan's talking about, because for this fight to be big, you can bet anything. And I hope that he asks for a split. When these guys do eventually fight, I hope he asks for a split rather than a lump sum of money, because you can guarantee, even though that Nathan Gorman would have had more fights than him, and arguably better fights, to be fair, as in higher profile, he won't be the A-side, because Frank Warren doesn't want him to be the A-side. And that will show in the pay. So hopefully Nathan Gorman's going to be smart about this and say, I want at least 50-50 with Daniel Dubois. You're not going to give me a guaranteed 150 grand. I want to know what Daniel Dubois is getting. Why are you showing him favouritism? And I hope that's what Nathan Gorman does. I believe that's what he'll do as well. And I believe that's what he's getting at. He's saying, show the same faith in me as to what you're doing with Daniel Dubois. I believe I'm better than him. I want to fight him now, but you keep stopping it. Why are you stopping it? Why are you protecting him? Don't talk about it's going to be a big, huge super fight, because Daniel Dubois doesn't have the personality to make it a super fight. Nathan Gorman is going to be the one to sell that fight. Frank Warren isn't the same kind of promoter as Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn will sell the fights. He will sell the event to fill out the arenas. Frank Warren is old school. He relies on the fighters to do a lot of that. Of course, he will do his own little bit where he'll throw in, buy your tickets are on sale Monday. That's what he'll do. That's not really promoting an event. Putting something out on social media isn't really promoting it. Nathan Gorman is going to have to play the role of what Dillian Whyte did with Anthony Joshua when these guys fought. He's going to have to play the bad guy. He's going to have to be loud. If he wants decent pay, especially if it's going to be a split, he's going to have to sell the hell out of this fight because Daniel Dubois can't. And again, it's not a knock on Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois, for me, and I support all British fighters, of course I do. And I hope that they all go on and achieve what they want to achieve. And I'll support each and every one of them all the time. But Daniel Dubois will never be a superstar unless something changes. Because he's too quiet. He's got the personality of a barn door. That's what it is. Nathan Gorman, not the most outgoing character in the world, but he can be, and I can see he's got it in him. At times, I'm getting the sense with some of the things that he says on camera and some of the things that I hear about him. I believe he can be the character to sell that fight, but it shouldn't always be on him. When Nathan Gorman's going to have to sell the entire event, and Daniel Dubois gets the A-side status. So anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens. And of course, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, why is it that Joe Joyce versus Daniel Dubois is going to happen before Nathan Gorman, Daniel Dubois? Because Joe Joyce could legitimately end Daniel Dubois. I'm not too confident if Frank Warren will put him in the ring with him. I know he's saying, yeah, they want the fight, but I'm not too sure. And would Joe Joyce demolish Daniel Dubois? We'll have to wait and see. But as I said, I'm not confident that fight will happen, to be fair. I think Joe Joyce, the little things that I've seen and heard, is like he's looking for another opponent. I don't think he really fancies Daniel Dubois anyway. But all he's got to do is wait another 2 or 3 weeks, wait for Daniel Dubois to get that fight, then they can negotiate. Their fight can be next. So if Joe Joyce ends up finding an opponent in the next 2 or 3 weeks, it's because he's avoiding Daniel Dubois. But anyway, that's a whole other subject. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, you drop your thoughts below about it. Do you think Nathan Gorman is correct to put Frank Warren in the spot? Do you think he's correct to say, well, where's my plan? You've got a plan for Daniel Dubois, but where's mine? Why are you keeping him away from me? Why are you showing him favouritism? For me, I think Nathan Gorman has every right to say this. Anyway, that's my thoughts. You let me know yours. Click the thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.